Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to talk a little bit about touch-ups, and mainly, would you need to touch it up or would you need to redo it? So we've got a part here that we've dipped that we wanted to show you guys a few things on, and also a neat little technique that you can use sometimes to fix things and possibly still have a good dip and not have to completely redo it. So let's check it out. So looking at this, everything looks really good except for this one spot that we have going right through here. And so you can see we've got really great coverage on this side, but this side for some reason missed just that little section. And so some may think, okay, we may need to completely redo this, but with the technique that I'm about to show you, you can sometimes still keep the pattern that you have and then still be able to redip just this one section here. So let's take a look at it and see what we're going to be doing. So because I have this hard edge line right here where it goes across and then down, I'm going to put a piece of tape all the way across this line right through here, and then probably have it go from here and then across down into here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to mask off all of this area right in through here, so then that way the dip is only going to get on this edge right through here. Now sometimes some camo patterns like this right here can be a lot easier to touch up by doing this method. Now, of course, other patterns, for instance, like a carbon fiber, they would not be this easy to touch up, and this method will probably not work. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a very more random pattern that does not have a lot of direction to it, so that way it'll help blend and hide the seam that we're about to put in here. So let's go ahead and get this prepped out and ready and show you guys what we're going to end up doing. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get this all set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave a little bit of the pattern still showing, and so we're just going to lightly put this tape around. And so I'm just going to work down in sections here and then just slowly take and layer this in just like so all the way across. Now again, I've got a little bit of that showing, might cover up a little bit more of this, get that top edge there, but either way, still perfectly fine. And now for that last one, as I was saying before, let's go ahead and take this, set that about right there, make sure that we're still getting all of this covered and right there. And so now we can take and cap it maybe something like this right here. Now that we have this right here, you can see going all the way down through here, we've got a little bit of the pattern showing all the way through here. And then if I wanted to even touch it up a little bit more, I could even take this to where it is not as much of the pattern showing through. And so now once we go to dip it, it'll be just that little bitty bit. And so now we'll mask the rest of it off, we'll grab some paper, and then get everything ready to go for the dip. All right, so now we just need to cover everything up. So we'll take and set that like this. And so we can either leave that like that, or we can take this here and make sure that we keep it like that. And then we'll also put another one down inside here just to make sure that this stays all the way down. And then of course we can wrap this around just like so, and then we'll just make sure to trim off enough to where it will cover somewhere around in this area all the way around. So in this case here, we can take this and go up like that, go across, so then now whenever we go to layer that in, that'll set just like that. We'll put some tape across here, and now all we're left with showing is the area that we're touching up. So now, as you can clearly see, we have just this area that we're going to be dipping all the way through here. We've got our pattern still showing all the way across, and now we are ready to go ahead and lay down more film. And we also want to make sure, because this is a little bit of a directional pattern, the direction was going this way. So as we go to dip it, we always want to make sure that we have it going this way as well. That way everything matches and lines up really well. So now that we have this, let's go ahead, lay out our film, dip it, and show you guys the end result. Now, one thing that you always want to make sure of is that technically we only needed a film about this much to dip all of this, but we also need to be able to fit the entire part down in the water. So I am still using more than what I need, but I also want to make sure that as I go down into the water with it, I have plenty of room to go all the way around. So definitely keep that in mind whenever you're doing that, or if you're not going to do that and you want to try to save a little bit more film, you can always put tape on all four corners, and then that way you don't have to keep your dividers like right here, and then you're not able to go down into the water. So those are a couple of different things that just to make sure whenever you go to cut your film and lay it out for the touch-up. So of course, as always, make sure that the film is glassed out like normal, like everything, and then let's go ahead and get this ready to go. We've got everything looking good here. So let's just make sure that we can line it up exactly the way that it needs to go. All right, and that is it. That's all we need. Let's pull that back out. So we got great coverage going all the way through there. It's exactly what we want. So now let's pull this off, take a look at it, and see what we got. Very nice. So now we have full coverage all the way around, and everything looks really great. So let's go ahead, let's get this rinsed off so that way we don't have the two different sheens between it, and then show you guys the end result. All right, so we've got it all rinsed off, and let's take a look at it. So now you can clearly see we've got full coverage all the way down through here. Even the area that just had that one little line right there, even though we just had it go all the way across, everything still looks really good. And looking at the transition from the side to the top, everything still looks really good, and it all looks like it flows really well. Now, we do still have, of course, more touch-ups to do. We have one little spot right here. We have a couple of little spots maybe right in here. But again, those are going to be super easy to touch up with either a paintbrush or an airbrush itself. But overall, fixing this right here, this was a very simple and quick way to fix something that would have normally been a complete redo. So by doing a method like this right here, you're able to save time and material, and you're able to still make it look really good going all the way around the part. All right, so now that this is all dried up, you can clearly see we've got a really great pattern going all the way through here. If you did not know that we touched that up, you would actually have no idea that it was even there. So now all we need to do is go through and start touching up these little areas that we need, like right here, right here. And then once we get all these touched up, then we'll be ready to go. So we'll use the paintbrush method just like what we've done before. If you're curious about this, definitely check out our other videos on touch-ups. We have some really great videos on touch-ups for those, so I won't go into this very much, but you can clearly see this is actually a different pattern, which is still fine because it still has the same colors that we need for this. So now we'll come in through here, and then we will just touch this up just like that, and it is gone. And so then we'll continue on with these other areas in through here with a really good touch up just like that. Get all that covered and continue on with it after we get all finished. And so once we get all this touched up, we're ready to go ahead and clear it and give it back to the customer. Hopefully this video has really helped you guys out. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. We'd love to hear from you on the touch-up, how it went, if you would have done anything differently, or if this technique right here has helped save a lot of the dips that maybe you have done before. We'd always love to hear about that as well. If you're interested in getting into the hydrographics or you're wanting to find supplies, definitely check the links in the description below. They have links to our website, liquidconcepts.com, and it has everything that you need from film to training to tanks and anything in between. It is all there on the website, so definitely check that out. I'm Bryan from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.